Welcome to Richie Shot.
Today is the last trading day of the week because, thank God, it is Friday. And today is also the last Friday of summer. So if you're sure ready, let's dive in.
Fed showdown. Lisa Cook takes President Trump to court in bold legal clash. According to Reuters, Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook has thrown down the gauntlet against President Donald Trump, filing a lawsuit that could reshape how much power the White House has over the U.S. central bank. The drama began when Trump, on August 25th, stunned Washington by announcing he would fire Cook, accusing her of mortgage fraud from 2021, a year before she ever set foot on the Fed's governing board. Cook didn't back down. Instead, she fired back with a lawsuit and a motion for a temporary restraining order, insisting the president's move is flat out unlawful. A judge will take up the motion Friday at 10 a.m. EDT, 1400 GMT. Cook's legal team minced no words, annoyed. Neither the type of offense the president cited nor the threadbare evidence against Governor Cook would constitute cause for removal, even if the president's allegations were true, which they are not. She argues the whole case rests on shaky ground, an old accusation that doesn't even qualify as for cause under federal law. Cook has denied committing mortgage fraud, and her lawyers went further with a sharp jab at Trump. The president would not have cause to remove a Federal Reserve governor, even if he possessed smoking gun evidence that she jaywalked in college. The outcome of this showdown could do more than decide Cook's fate. It may redraw the boundaries of presidential power and the independence of the Fed itself. Tesla tumbles as BYD surges. Chinese EV maker overtakes Musk in Europe. According to fresh figures from the European Automobile Manufacturers Association, SIA, Tesla just hit a major speed bump in Europe. Sales of Elon Musk's electric cars slumped 40% in July compared to the same month last year, as competition from China's BYD shifted into high gear. Tesla registered just 8,837 vehicles across the EU, the European Free Trade Association, and the UK last month, a sharp drop from 14,769 a year ago. BYD, by contrast, raced ahead. Its registrations soared to 13,503, more than triple last year's tally of 4,151. That performance lifted BYD's European market share to 1.2%, while Tesla's slid to 0.8%. The result underscores a striking trend. Chinese car makers armed with cheaper models and aggressive expansion plans are rapidly carving up Europe's electric vehicle market. In fact, BYD first outsold Tesla on the continent earlier this spring, according to research firm Jado Dynamics, and the gap now appears to be widening. While the Tesla-BYD rivalry grabs headlines, Europe's overall car market is leaning heavily toward hybrids. So far this year, hybrid electric registrations across the EU have climbed to 2.255 million units. Growth has been strongest in the region's biggest economies. France surged 30.5%, Spain 30.2%, Germany 10.7%, and Italy 9.4%. For Tesla, the July numbers mark another warning sign as BYD's momentum accelerates. The message from European drivers seems clear. Competition is revving up, and Tesla is no longer in the fast lane alone. NVIDIA breaks records as AI boom powers up, despite investor nerves. NVIDIA has done it again. The world's leading AI chipmaker just smashed sales records and outperformed Wall Street's lofty expectations. In its second quarter results announced Wednesday, NVIDIA reported adjusted earnings per share of $1.08 on $46.74 billion in revenue, beating forecasts of $1.01 EPS and $46.05 billion in revenue, according to FactSet. It's yet another milestone in NVIDIA's meteoric rise, powered by its role at the very center of the artificial intelligence revolution. While shares dipped 2.3% in after-hours trading, the bigger story is clear. Demand for AI hardware is exploding, and NVIDIA remains the undisputed market leader.
Even slight misses in its data center business, 41.1 billion versus the expected 41.3 billion, couldn't dampen the excitement around its overall performance. The company is also navigating global headwinds with resilience. NVIDIA confirmed its outlook did not include shipments of its H2O chips to China after President Donald Trump restricted AI chip sales earlier this year. That policy dealt a $4.5 billion hit to NVIDIA's first quarter results, but the firm quickly struck an export deal in August, agreeing to give the U.S. government a 15% cut of H2O chip sales to China. Meanwhile, China is racing to build its own alternatives, a sign of just how vital NVIDIA's technology has become. With revenues soaring and AI demand only growing, NVIDIA's record-setting quarter is less about short-term market jitters and more about a future being powered, chip, by its groundbreaking technology. U.S. economy races ahead with 3.3% growth, beating forecasts. The U.S. economy is showing its strongest pulse in nearly 2 years, delivering a growth surprise that has economists cheering. According to revised data, gross domestic product, GDP, expanded at an annualized rate of 3.3% in the second quarter of 2025, outpacing the initial estimate of 3% and surpassing Bloomberg's survey of economists who had expected 3.1%. This marks the fastest growth since the final quarter of 2023, a clear sign that America's economic engine is running smoothly again. The upswing was fueled by a jump in business investment and a powerful boost from trade. Personal consumption also came in stronger than first thought, rising 1.6% versus the earlier 1.4%. That's a welcome rebound after household spending had slowed to its weakest pace since the pandemic's onset in the first quarter. Meanwhile, the core PCE price index, the Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge, rose by 2.5% on a quarterly basis, exactly in line with expectations, suggesting inflation remains contained even as growth accelerates. One of the biggest surprises came from non-residential fixed investment, which was revised sharply higher to a robust 5.7% increase, driven by spending on software and transportation equipment. This was far stronger than the preliminary 1.9% estimate. The rebound is especially striking given that the economy had contracted in the first quarter, the first such dip since 2022. Looking ahead, analysts expect growth to moderate as consumers and businesses adjust to President Donald Trump's trade policies. But for now, the U.S. is enjoying a remarkable mid-year surge. U.S. jobless claims ease slightly, but ongoing filings stay near 2 million. The U.S. labor market showed resilience last week, as initial jobless claims fell by 5,000 to 229,000 in the week ending August 23rd, according to the Labor Department. The figure came in just below Bloomberg's median forecast of 230,000, signaling continued stability. However, the 4-week moving average ticked up by 2,500 to 228,500, reflecting a gradual cooling trend. Meanwhile, continuing claims remain elevated. Filings in the week ending August 16th stood at 1.954 million, just shy of the late July record of 1.968 million. Despite the slight dip in new claims, ongoing unemployment benefits highlight lingering pressure in the job market.